Hi, Kitsap County. This is part 2 of a 2-part series on pre-foreclosures. I'm Stephanie Dupuis with Dupuis team at Keller Williams West Sound. Okay, so last week we covered part 1 of pre-foreclosures. And a quick review, the 4 things that you need to do when beginning to look at pre-foreclosures, and you most often see these on Zillow, is you need to check the county records to see if it's actually still a pre-foreclosure. Because often when you see pre-foreclosures online, on Zillow, on other sites, they've often been corrected, paid up, that type of thing. So go to your county website, look up the actual documents. Okay. Second thing is drive by. And when we say drive by, literally drive by. Don't get out of your car. Don't disturb the occupants or the owners. That's a huge no-no. Not acceptable. Don't use judgment. Be a good human here. Literally drive by in your car and be like, okay, the house exists. It's not falling down, or it's falling down. That's great, because that's what we're looking for. But make sure that what you think you're looking at is what you're looking at. You dig? All right. Number 3, determine a ballpark value. Okay. Just ballpark it. Don't put a lot of time into it. This is just beginning steps. You drive by, you make sure it was actually pre-foreclosure. The house is still what we think it is. It's still ballpark value. Is that really how much money I want to pay? Are we in the ballpark of reality here? Okay. Step 4. And this is biggie. Does that owner want to sell? And go back to part 1 on information on that, because oftentimes owner, this is where we get tripped up a lot. Owners are going through, a lot of things when it comes to pre-foreclosures. Maybe they plan to correct the pre-foreclosure. Maybe they're in denial. It's really stressful when you're in a situation with a pre-foreclosure. So you need to make sure that they actually want to sell. All right. Okay. So, I'm gonna move this here. Let's move it around today. It's kind of didn't even have coffee. A little hyper. All right. Part 2, let's go into this stuff. And this is where people usually struggle. They're like, I found a house, like it. What do I do next? The numbers crunch. Most people skip the owner wants to sell because they have a hard time finding the owner. So go back to video number 1, okay? Go back to part 1 and review that. So here's the next thing you need to do, is you really need to dial in that home value. And then you're going to have to write an offer, a formal written offer. Verbal stuff means nothing. So, contact your broker and do a CMA, a comparative market analysis, which is the home value. Dial in that home value, see where it is. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what you offer. Most people are looking for deals when they're looking at pre-foreclosures. Good reason. But you need to understand where you are. Is there enough equity in that home, to help the owner get out of the pre-foreclosure situation and also be a deal for you? That's usually what people are looking for. Can you make another reason pre-foreclosures can be a good option right now is you're buying off market. You're not going to have the competition of other home buyers. So maybe you can offer fair market value and, help the homeowner at the same time. So, dial in that fair market value on that home so you know where you are. That's going to prevent you from overpaying on that home. And also, if the homeowner does not have equity, you need to know what the lien holder is going to be expecting if that turns into a short sale. Now, if there's not equity, you're in a short sale situation. That really complicates things, and you really need to speak with your broker about that. We're not going to get into that here because it's just too much. That's a whole nother episode. But if there's negative equity, Washington state laws on short sales are different than many other states, and the seller may be required to list the property and expose it to the public. So you might be in another, an entirely different situation if there's not equity in the home, and you really need to speak with your broker that you're working with on this. And if you have questions, call us. We're experienced with this. And we really know a lot about this stuff, and we're really talking about it. And please comment below. Okay, so part 2, you have 2 things you need to do. First thing is pinpoint your value with a comparative market analysis, which is a home value analysis. And the second thing is write a written formal offer to the homeowner. And it needs to be a written offer, and you need to formally deliver it, okay? Or effectively deliver it to them, which can take form, you can snail mail it, you can hand deliver it, you can email it if you have their email. So there are several ways to effectively deliver a written offer. It needs to be a written offer. Verbal means nothing. So those are the 2 things you do once you have pinpointed a pre-foreclosure home. And I highly recommend working with a broker. You need to be working with a broker and attorney, but a broker would be much more effective in my opinion. Okay, that is part 2 of the pre-foreclosure series. I am Stephanie Dupuis with the Dupuis team at Keller Williams West Sound. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends. And if you have questions, leave them below. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will see you here next week in the same channel. Okay, have a wonderful week, everyone.